Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Bit of a different video today, bit of a different dynamic. I'm not riding a bike, I'm not in the gym, I'm just in my car. For some reason every time I seem to vlog, I seem to be sat in my car. It's quite random really because I don't really drive anywhere, so it seems to be whenever I'm driving somewhere I seem to vlog. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to basically just be talking and rambling on about literally anything really. I feel like the one thing that I'm like actually good at is just waffling. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a waffling video because if I don't waffle to the camera, I'll waffle to my boyfriend or other people and they get sick of me waffling. I am currently still ill, so if I sound a little bit off, it's because I'm ill. I don't always sound like this, so please excuse the voice for this video. I also have seat covers like all over my car because there's just nothing worse. There's just nothing worse at all than getting dirty seats. And my car is currently a state. I need to clean my car more often. This is one thing I'm really not motivated with. I'm motivated with loads of different things, but I'll get really motivated and then I'll do everything all at once and then my brain will just go ugh and just have enough. Then I just won't have the motivation to do anything for absolutely ages. And when I say absolutely ages, I mean my car has not been cleaned since May. We're currently in November. It's not dirty. It's not really dirty, but the passenger side dash, basically, me and my boyfriend were in the Lake District riding our bikes and I had to go home and he came in my car with me to go to the shop. He was literally covered head to toe in mud, as expected. I had my bike in the back of the car and the seat was all the way forward, so I couldn't push the seat back and I was like, well, you're just going to have to sit on the seat all the way forward. So he sat on it and he had like his whole body up my dashboard, so it's just like covered in mud. Then he got out of the car and spilled iron brew all over the dash, of all things. So I have a muddy iron brew dashboard currently. And this is what I mean. I just don't have the motivation to clean it. It's 2 minutes down the road. In fact, it's not even 2 minutes down the road. There's literally 30 seconds that direction. There is people that will wash my car for me. But it's 26 quid. And look, am I stingy? Because I don't want to pay 26 quid for someone to clean my car when I can do it myself. But then I don't have the motivation to do it myself. It's a big cycle. It's a big, horrible cycle, you see. I've gone a little bit off track, but I'm going to try and get a little bit back on track now. Okay, so I've started this YouTube channel basically because I've always wanted to do social media as a job. It is the only thing that I've been consistent with from being in school, that I've always said, yeah, that's what I want to do. And the thing is, it's not realistic, is it? Let's be real. Unless you're like conventionally pretty, got some sort of relation to people that are already in the industry, or have like just a video that blows up or something, and it's as simple as that. Sorry, I've had a bit of change of location there. I just drove to Greg's. But as I was saying, I always knew that it was never going to be realistic. But I feel like that's why I never committed like absolutely my all and everything into it. And I still went down a career path, if that makes sense. It's been something that I've always done. And I feel like in school, it was a really touchy subject for me, personally. There is absolutely nothing worse than high school to me. Oh my God. You could not pay me any money on this planet to go back to high school at all. I feel like throughout high school I held so much of myself and so much of my own personality back purely just to protect my own mental sake. Because let me tell you, girls in high school are absolutely insane. Not insane like, oh my God, insane. We're talking like insane. They literally judge you for every single little thing that you ever do. It was just the one thing I could never get past it. I just couldn't get past it. And even lads as well, not even just girls specifically, just in general, people were just so judgmental with things that like every time I tried to do something or I tried to express it, as soon as one person had something negative to say about it or like taking the mick kind of, I'd like shut down and step back from it. And I also self-sabotage a lot. I also have this like voice in the back of my head telling me, you're going to do that, you're going to get the mick taken out of you, you're going to do that, everyone's going to hate you, you're going to do that, you're going to look like a right idiot, you're going to do... And it's like, I don't actually care what other people think, but then I say that when I'm in my own little world like this, but then if someone was to come up to me directly and confront me on things that I'm doing, which are not even affecting other people, then I would literally shut down. So it's a really weird one, actually. So it's always something that I've wanted to do, but I've just never pursued it. If it wasn't for high school, I feel like I would have had a lot more experience doing the thing that I love now. But yeah, it is what it is now. I'm doing it now and that's all that matters. As soon as I left high school, I got back into mountain biking. Mountain biking is something that I've done since since I could walk, pretty much. My dad did it. My dad used to race. My mum did it. My mum used to race. She never really like committed to it as much as my dad because she does show jumping and like horse horse stuff basically. But from my dad's perspective anyway, his was done it and his was race, so I grew up naturally racing as well. I used to race cross country up until I was like 11, I think. And then my dad broke his collarbone and I was there to witness him breaking his collarbone. So that put me off as an 11-year-old, not gonna lie. And then kind of after that, my dad didn't really get back into it like he was before. I don't really know why. I've never spoken to him about it, but he just never got back into it like he did before. And obviously at that age, the only way that I could go and do that sport was with a parent. Like I couldn't just go off and ride my bike on my own. It was too dangerous. Naturally, I just didn't do it anymore. Went to high school. That happened. And a few of the people that I went to school with did mountain biking as well. Like boys, not obviously girls, because there wasn't as many girls doing it back then anyway. I always found that kind of helped me get back into it. And there was a couple of people, to be honest, so like maybe 4 or 5 people that I was friends with, and they all did it, and it kind of just brought my love for it back. Then my dad got back into it, then I got back into it properly, then I kind of stopped again, and then started and stopped and started, and I was really hit and miss because, as I said, I used to race cross country, but cross country didn't appeal to me anymore, and I didn't know there was obviously different disciplines and things. Went into racing downhill, absolute tragedy, I can tell you that much. I literally got a new bike, and within the first couple of months I'd raced the whole national series, come last in every single race, as you do you know what I mean? I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest, and it really knocked my confidence because I have, again, self-sabotage, and I expected to get on the bike and just be good. Like, I didn't expect, like, you had to put the work in. I wasn't crap, but I wasn't good enough to be racing the people that I was racing. For example, I raced national championships in 2021, and the girls I was against now race downhill professional World Cup level on factory teams. Like, and because there was only a few of us in the category, because it's such a small niche of women that do it, it was like them and then me. Like, there was no middle ground, so I just couldn't, it just wasn't for me. And then I met my boyfriend Harvey in April this year, and I'd already got back into riding by this point. I'd already got a bike, I'd already like got back into riding, and I'd kind of got into like enduro a little bit. Like, not, I've kind of like dipped my toes in, but I didn't really like do anything with it. And then I met Harvey, and Harvey races enduro, and Harvey's really, really good at racing enduro. So naturally, again, I ended up going down that route. But it was so different for me because the atmosphere at like the races and the people around me and just the riding in general, I actually enjoyed it. And I hadn't felt that feeling of actually enjoying the sport for so many years. And it's so weird because it's like I've completely fell back in love with it now. And it's literally all I ever want to do. I literally got a new bike last week. I will insert a video here. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's a Merida 167,000, I think. But I'll put on the screen because I've probably got that wrong, I'm not going to lie. And this year has just been like so incredible. Like, it's just made me absolutely fall back in love with the sport. This year, I raced 2 of the national rounds. I didn't do the full national rounds because I didn't feel ready for it. But I did 2 of the national rounds, and I actually did semi-decent. Look, I obviously wasn't winning. I'm not going to win. I've only just started it, really. But I was doing semi-decent. I was actually enjoying the racing, and I wasn't crashing, because my thing as well with downhill was I put too much pressure on myself, so I used to crash every single race, and it was just so unhealthy, and it was just awful, and I just ended up quitting. So with enduro, I found I wasn't crashing. I was actually enjoying the racing. I was actually enjoying the riding. I didn't have that like overwhelming pressure on me. And because I had Harvey doing it with me as well, he's actually really supportive about it, I'm not going to lie. He's really good with coaching me and things. As much as he always says, like, oh, you don't listen to anything I ever say, you don't want to listen to me, I actually do take it on board secretly. I just can't let him know that, obviously. Long story short, fast forward to September, I think it was, I got to go out and race my first World Cup. I have dreamt of that day. Look, okay, I wasn't in the pro category. Before anyone comes to me, I wasn't in the pro category. But I've never had the ambition of ever being in the pro category, because I know myself that I'm never ever going to be at that level, and I know myself I'm never going to be that good. Well, I thought anyway. Okay, this is where it gets complicated, because again, self-sabotage, I underestimated myself a little bit. We went out to Loudenville in France. It's in the Pyrenees. It's not too far from Spain. And I raced my first World Cup. I was in the under 21 women, so there was only 4 of us, but obviously it's a 3-place podium anyway. And I literally went with the intention of just getting down the course, getting down the stages and making the climbs. That was literally my only goal. And I feel like because that was my only goal, I managed to do so much better than I anticipated because I didn't have that pressure on myself, because I was like, it's my first World Cup. Why am I going to do? I'm not going to do well. I'm just not going to do well. I might not even make it round. And I was like, I'm going to be so gutted if I don't make it round, but at least I've given it a go. Fast forward to race day. It was meant to be 5 stages. They cancelled one of the stages because the weather was that bad. I will insert a video of Harvey because I couldn't even get my phone out. It was too muddy. I'll insert a video of Harvey here so you can see what the weather was like. I cannot tell you how difficult it was to ride in them conditions. I swear to God, I have never rode in anything like it in my life. That was horrendous, and I was petrified. I was absolutely petrified. Like, my first World Cup, the hardest tracks I would have ever rode, and in those conditions, absolutely not. There is not, I still can't believe I did it to this day. I still cannot believe it. If you would have told me a year ago that I would have been doing that this year, and you would have shown me the weather conditions, I would have probably had a cardiac arrest in front of you. I'm not gonna lie, because not a chance. There's just not a chance, and anyone that knows me just knows not a chance. So my parents were like, why are you doing that? You're not ready for it. Everyone was like, oh, I don't think you're ready for it. I don't think you're ready for it. But I just knew. It was weird. I just knew. I was like, no, I just need to do it. I just need to do it. And I went and I did it. So throughout the day, people were dropping out of every single category. Like, people were dropping out the pro categories, like the men's pro category. People were dropping out left, right and centre. I am the most, like, determined person ever. Like, if I am doing something, I am doing something. Like, it would take an absolute mental defeat for me to drop out of something, and especially at that level. I just wanted to prove to everyone that told me I couldn't do it that I can. Like, I just had that feeling of, like, I know I can do it. Just do it, just do it, just do it all day. And I have asthma, so a lot of people probably don't know, I have quite severe asthma, which I have to take, like, steroids for. I have my inhalers. Just, it's a whole other battle, that is. That's like a whole other battle, and that really affects my riding with the altitude. So obviously in Ludenville, it's in the Pyrenees, mountain range, big mountain range. You have to get the gondola to the top of some of the stages. It's really high up in the mountains, and the air pressure and obviously the altitude, I'm not actually sure about the ins and outs of it, is like horrendous. And I remember on my way up to stage 5, I'd found out that one of the girls had dropped out, so I knew I was automatically on the podium anyway, and I was like, oh my God, I can't give up now. But even though I was automatically on the podium, well, technically I wasn't, because she dropped out. And bless her, she was really, really nice. She was really good as well. But I just had this feeling of, like, as soon as I found out that, like, I was automatically on the podium, I was like, no, I want to go for more. I got to this stage 5 climb, and it was a Tour de France climb. Oh my God. What the hell? No one prepared me for that at all. I FaceTimed my dad on the way up, and I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Give up. And my asthma was absolutely in bits. Like, I could not breathe at all. I'd run out of water. I had to keep stopping. It was just awful. How hard the mental battle was to actually get to the top of that climb and finish it. It was absolutely horrendous. I could not breathe at all. I was like trying to force myself to breathe while trying to push through to get to the top, just telling myself that I know I can do it. Because if, obviously, even though I defaulted podium, if I dropped out, I wouldn't have got on it then, if that makes sense. I would have got a DNF. Anyway, long story short, got to the top eventually with very little time to spare. Got down the track and found out I was second. I actually genuinely still have no words. And even though it was the open category, not the pro category, it was just like all of my dreams just came true in like one moment. Like, even though a lot of people dream to race with like the professionals and stuff, I just know that that isn't realistic for me, and maybe it could be realistic one day, but right now that's not realistic for me. Just getting to race a World Cup to begin with was something that I'd always dreamt of, and the fact that I was standing there on a podium with a silver medal around my neck at a flipping World Cup in France, oh my God, I'm still the happiest person in the world about it. Like, genuinely absolutely happiest person in the world about it. That boosted my confidence so much. I can't tell you how much that boosted my confidence. And I got back from France, and all I wanted to do was ride. Like, I wanted a little break, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit tired, but all I wanted to do was ride. I got a new bike last week, like I just said, and I haven't been able to go out on it yet because I'm literally still ill, which is really, really not ideal, because I'm just so low. I'm so ready to get out on it. I'm so excited. And obviously it's off season at the minute, so it's November. So pretty much that's my biking story, I guess. Plans for next year, 2025. Planning to race all of the national series, as I only did 2 rounds this year. Also the World Cups. So I think there's 7 rounds. I think there's like Poland, 3 in Italy, 2 in France. I'm not actually entirely sure. Bit unrealistic that I'm going to get out to all of them because I can't get the time off work. We're having a bit of a crisis at the moment. I want to get out and do all of them, but I know I can't. Me and Harvey are kind of at the minute deciding which races we actually want to get out and do. I got 50 points from Ludenville. For under 21 women, you need 50 points to be in the pro category. I'm turning 21 in February, so I am a little bit gutted because if I was still in under 21s next year, I'd get to be racing in the pro category. Which I keep saying is so unrealistic, but like, clearly not if I've done it, do you know what I mean? It's so much fun. I actually love it. I'm so glad I fell back in love with the sport. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. That's another thing I've missed out actually. I literally go to the gym all the time, but obviously that comes with the training for mountain biking. I love the gym. I used to get into a really bad habit of buying a gym membership, going for a couple of weeks and then just never using it ever again. And then a year later doing the same thing. But I have actually got really consistent with it recently and I am finding love with it now. But again, I film a lot of content for the gym. Obviously, as I've said, all I've ever wanted to do is social media, whether that be in content creation, marketing, promotion, fashion really. But I absolutely love fashion design, styling, anything like that, and I feel like that really ties in with social media, which is why I've literally been so consistent. So I obviously have like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as you're watching this on now. I'm trying to get into UGC creation at the minute. That is a growing career. However, social media is going good. I'm working with a couple of brands. I'm working with Protein Works. Protein Works, by the way, I genuinely love, and I would be buying their stuff whether I was in partnership with them or not. So, for example, got a little protein bar here, cookies and cream flavour. No nuts. Nut allergy people, go to Protein Works because I have a nut allergy, and I always find that so many companies just do stuff with nuts in for protein, whereas they do stuff with nuts in, but a lot of the stuff doesn't contain nuts. So like cookies and cream flavour protein bar, that anywhere else would have nuts in, but it doesn't from Protein Works, and these are unreal, let me tell you that. We also have had like cake mugs, protein pancakes, protein shakes, and they do so many really cool flavours as well. I have obviously got a discount code for that, so I'll put that on the screen now if you wanted to check them out. I just think it's something that I've literally always been passionate about. So that's pretty much the social media side of things. Anyway, as I was saying with this channel, I always feel like people start YouTube channels and they have like a specific niche of things that they film on. I have never been able to settle on something. I've always done YouTube and deleted the videos, and then done a different type of YouTube, then deleted the videos. It's like a constant cycle of not actually knowing what it is specifically that I want to do. So I've decided basically I'm going to do anything and everything. Expect fashion videos, vlogs, mountain biking videos, travel videos, literally everything. I find joy in talking about everything and sharing everything. So yeah, that's what to expect from me. If you do actually like the sound of what I'm going to be posting and it isn't boring you to death, then please do subscribe. It's really appreciated, and I'll link all my social channels below as well if you did want to follow those. And yeah, I really appreciate anyone that's actually watched this video and actually has took an interest into it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.